That was Amber Lucid with Letter to My Younger Self, the Fairlane remix. Welcome to the Rise Weekly Review for February 7th through February 14th, 2022. A crash near the border of South Shore and South Chicago left four young girls injured, with two in critical condition on Saturday. The crash occurred on the 7900 block of South Yates. According to reports, around 7:20 p.m., a driver in a white sedan ran a red light and struck the passenger side of an SUV the girls were in. Two of the girls, one of whom was 6 and the other 9, were ejected from the vehicle. The two were taken to Comer Children's Hospital and last reported in critical condition. Another two, ages 5 and 9, were taken to Lurie Children's Hospital and only received minor injuries. A 26-year-old female driver of the SUV was reportedly uninjured. The driver of the sedan fled north on Yates. The vehicle was found dumped on 77th and Oglesby in South Shore. Anyone with information on this or other Chicago crimes is asked to contact 311 or leave an anonymous tip at cpdtip.com. A man passed away after crashing into the median while driving from the east side to Hegewisch early Saturday morning. According to reports, the man was driving a 2013 Chevy Impala around 2:30 a.m. The man was heading southbound towards Hegewisch when he crashed into a median. Chicago police reported that the vehicle caught fire after the crash. The man was pronounced dead at the scene. He has not yet been identified. Two Metro crew members were injured after a train struck a car in South Shore. According to reports on Saturday around 9:30 a.m., train number 8310 slammed into a vehicle near 76 in Exchange. Two Metro crew members were injured and taken to Trinity Hospital. Officials believe the car was abandoned and nobody was in the vehicle at the time. It is unclear from reports how the crew members were injured, but they were both last reported in good condition. On Wednesday, CBS Chicago reported a story of an investigation into the possible burning of U.S. mail by a carrier in South Chicago. According to reports, Chicago police responded to a call around 10 p.m. on Tuesday to a home near 84th and Crandon. Their police found and took video of a pile of paper that appeared to be mail burning in the grill. Police arrested a man at the home and released him to U.S. Postal Inspector General agents. Reports suggest the man had a role in the post office but did not say where he worked or in what role. The U.S. Postal Service confirmed it's investigating the incident. Reporters state that people were complaining on Wednesday at the post office at 93rd and South Chicago about lost mail. The U.S. Postal Service has not released any further details at this time. The second man involved in the Hammond Church break-in has been sentenced. Nicholas D. Redding of Hammond was sentenced to 2 years in a Lake County Community Corrections Alternative Placement Program and 2 years of probation for the attack on the church. 25-year-old Redding pleaded guilty in April to burglarizing the Faith United Church of Christ located at 3030 175th Street in Hammond. In April, 26-year-old Aaron Vanopens was sentenced to 3 years in the Lake County Community Corrections Program. The pair had broken into the church in 2019, vandalizing every room in the church and destroying several relics, including some from the 1900s. Family and friends gathered on Sunday to honor the memory of 36-year-old Antwoine Harris. Harris' body was found in the Little Calumet River near the 16600 block of Torrance in Lansing on November 4th. Harris was reported missing on November 1st and had last been seen by River Oaks in Calumet City. Although the cause of his death has been reported as drowning, the manner by which he came to drown has been undetermined. Illinois State Police are currently investigating. Over 20 people gathered to honor his memory on Sunday. Harris was described as a loving and caring person who would help children and family members. Harris devoted time to help teach others. Harris had opened up an organization in 2019 called Bartenders R Us that trained people in mixology and certified bartenders and servers for employee liquor license and food handling. Anyone with information on Harris' disappearance is asked to contact Illinois State Police at isp.crimetips.gov. A new group has formed in East Chicago that is seeking to help families affected by growing violence. The group was formed by Elizabeth Ramirez, whose son was killed by violence. At a meeting to announce the group's creation, Director Sylvia Galvin, whose son was also killed, joined Dr. Tracy Kim Snow from Governor State University that will be providing counselors to support the initiative. The group called Circle of Love will be a support group to assist families following homicides and gun violence. The group will seek to provide trauma-related services, including no-cost counseling services, wellness checks, and mental health activities to victims' families such as meditation, yoga, and others. They will also organize vigils, respond to incidents to support families acting as conduits between them and police, advocate on behalf of victims, pass out flyers and other information to help seek justice in outstanding cases, and assist in providing resources and youth violence protection programs and events. During the week, the Ford Assembly plant began slowing down production due to the ongoing chip shortages. The plant, located in Hegewisch, is one among several in the U.S. owned by the company that is going idle during the week. Production at the company's factories in Kansas City and Dearborn, Michigan, are also experiencing slowdowns due to the shortage. Shifts at the two locations were reportedly brought down to one. In Hegewisch, Ford makes the Ford Explorer, Lincoln Aviator, and Police Interceptor SUVs. The plant was closed during the spring but reopened in June. While production was brought back up to full capacity in September, the plant once again closed during the week. While earlier reports said the plant only expected to be closed for a week, the Chicago Tribune reports management did not say how long the production halt would last. Ford is meanwhile scheduled to display vehicles at this week's Chicago Auto Show. The display will include vehicles that are temporarily out of production because of the semiconductor shortage. During the week, reports came out about the city of Chicago sending workers to take chairs and other items people used to hold dip spots. Streets and sanitation began Friday clearing up the streets of unused items. Following over 11 inches of snow that fell in the city, many residents followed a long-time tradition of leaving items in the streets to claim spots they shoveled for their vehicles. The debate was seen on social media, with some activists claiming that the streets are public and everyone should contribute to shoveling them, while others claimed it was unfair for people's hard work to be ignored. The debate came out as news reports discussed the number of calls to the city to complain about dibs in January. While there was only one call in the city for a dibs complaint in the 7th Ward that includes South Shore, there were 48 in the 10th Ward that includes several Southeast Side communities. While people were debating dibs, a Chicago comedian and others showed real-time online tracking during Chicago's snowstorm that showed disparities in the location in which snowplows were placed. Although it was hard to see in the video, at least of the time of her recording, the video showed a lack of snowplows in most of Chicago's 10th Ward. Another reporter describes the lack of attention to CPS schools during the snowstorm and showed a map where plows had not immediately visited schools that included several area high and grammar schools. A Black Club Chicago report during the week discussed the closing of Birrieria Ocotlon in South Chicago. According to the report, the restaurant located at 8726 South Commercial Avenue was set to close on Sunday the 13th. The owners of the restaurant, which was opened in South Chicago in 1973, said the restaurant was closing for repairs. The restaurant received a great amount of support from area residents after the owner stated it was closing on Twitter. However, the owner said they expected the restaurant to reopen after repairs, but they did not have a timeline as they were unsure the extent of the repairs needed to the building. According to the owners, the restaurant originated in Mexico in 1926 and was the first birria spot in Chicago. Birria is a Mexican stew that is traditionally made with goat meat or mutton and includes a variety of spices. The restaurant's second location on 4007 East 106th Street will remain open while the location in South Chicago undergoes repairs, although the owner stated they are also considering remodeling the East Side location. And that ends our weekly review for February 7th through February 14th, 2022. Thank you for joining us for this week in review. Peace.
Mama, I apologize. I'm not what you thought in your mind. But I promise I'll be with all the love that you gave me. I'm glad you will make it far. All of the wishes that you begged from the start, they will come true. Ya no quiero que llores. The universe is gonna give you muchas flores. Quítate ese miedo. You'll be a lot more, trust me, yo te